Absolutely, yeah. He always had to
Oh
feel
my good luck.
like he was operating from a place that
Where are you looking, Leslye?
I think what you're saying, it had to be clear.
The men with the guns who were telling her to answer the question.
She's noticed there are two
Disney-
guns now. There was one before.
The men from Disney with the guns off screen are prodding her to answer the question.
I think Simon Pegg in whichever one, the hostage video he did. That's what it felt like. Someone's
The
right
hammer
there
was
holding a
just
Glock.
cocked back. That's what made her look. Oh shit!
Operating from a place that I think what you're saying, it had to be clear that his character was always operating from
Dude.
So to be clear, to be absolutely fucking clear, because we'll play this one more time. The question she's looking to answer is, did you want to make Smilo Ren more than just evil for evil's sake? That's the question she's answering.
And she went down the
She is
rabbit hole
struggling
trying to
right
answer that.
now.
Holy shit.
Yes.
Play that back.
And evil for evil's sake.
Absolutely, yeah. He always had to feel like he was operating from a place that I think what you're saying, it had to be clear that his character was always operating from
We haven't said anything yet.
She'll get there
I wouldn't say
eventually.
a human place, although that's
a human place.
Human place. Fuck off.
What was said in that big stretch was we wanted him to be human.
Isn't that crazy? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Like what?
We wanted to write this human character to be like a human.
Oh my
was
God.
all that was said in that.
So we cast a human actor to play this human character.
we casted an arguably human actor.
That's why you just gotta calm down and keep it simple. You know,
we ensured that he had no identical twins with which I would be confused by.
I didn't want to get confused.
It's surreal, isn't it? Because it's like, I hate this show, but like, I can say more. Here, watch. So the idea with Smilo Ren is that he has a rationale for his ideology. It didn't just spawn from nowhere. There was a history that informs who he is now. And when confronted by other characters for what they perceive to just be like completely evil with no, there's nothing to explain it. He surprises him with his explanations of where he's coming from. I hate this show, and like I don't
use him as a foil against the Jedi to explore the differences.
I don't even believe that these are like actually accurate ways of summarizing this stupid character. But I can
imagine the lie that you would tell on an interview.
Yeah, exactly. You could.
Well, how did it take her 20 seconds to say human?
Because she's completely disconnected. This lady doesn't give a shit about this project. It's just this interview is so telling.
Who this character is?
The main villain of your show.
He's the only potentially interesting character. If you're gonna have someone to say something about, it's gonna be him. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna say about Asha.
I remember
this is
Kylo or episode 5. So spoilers is not. You can just refer to the things he says in that episode to explain where he's coming from. He's a goober character. He's stupid, but you can say something other than, well, we needed to make sure that he's human. A lot more words and with a lot more empty pauses.
Dude, at this point you want to trick her, be like, oh, you mean you wanted to move away from people like Palpatine who are just crazy. Like, just see what she says. See if she agrees.
And then she'd say, yeah. Like, she'd say it like that.
Yeah, but it's one of those ones. She's looking for a lifeline, waiting for someone to help her.
And it'd be interesting to ask her, like, hey, what's your thoughts on Count Dooku? You said you love all the films. What's your thoughts on him?
Count who?
Hey, you love all the Star Wars. What's your thoughts? What would you have, ask her this? Like, what do you think a conversation between Qui-Gon Jinn and Count Dooku would have went?
Well, now I'm just imagining, like, asking her a question. Did you take any, was there any particular Sith character that we've seen before who you took inspiration for when crafting Smilo Ren? And she'd probably say something like, all of them have something to offer. So really,
you would say all. And the easy answer is like,
Vader, from Palpatine, from
she definitely ripped
Count
off
Dooku and Maul.
She definitely ripped off Kylo, like Kylo's broken mask in TOJ.
Smilo. Well,
the red rips. Literally the same thing Kylo's mask did. They did the same thing to his.
Well, that's why everyone thinks he's a Knight of Ren. Is the mask matches style.
Whatever that means.
Whatever that means. Like, they could have developed a.
Believe me, I agree
he's gonna
with
have
you
a
on
really
that
shitty.
What another missed opportunity, man. What another fucking missed opportunity.
Wouldn't that be wild if they actually went down that route and they said, oh, this is one of the Knights of Ren, and then he just dies at the end of episode 9 when Kylo Ren shoots him with the gun.
Like he was there, that was him.
That was him?
That was them. That was
I mean,
the
it's
Knights
not
of Ren. He
his,
shot them in
his
the
lifespan
hallway.
could be infinite when it's Disney canon, who knows?
Yeah.
Strange word to use in Star Wars, but for the sake of the answer.
Wait, what's a strange word?
Human
Go
is a
back.
strange word to use for Star Wars. I assume she mean.
Wait, that's what she said?
We'll
Damn.
throw it again. I'm pretty sure that's what she said.
I want to say a human place, although that's a strange word to use in Star Wars, but
Human.
Oh,
So
that's the
Leslye,
thing
there are
she said.
plenty of
Wow.
humans in Star Wars.
because A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back aren't human stories at all, because it's in
what is
space
she
and there's lasers and
I actually don't know.
What could be more?
I think that this is actually a surprisingly, if anything, Star Wars has a problem with showing too
many
few
humans.
non-human.
Yeah,
characters.
it's the opposite.
Yeah.
Like, can we
had-
get a point of view
this
from
would
an
make
alien?
this would
no?
make sense had she said, "How did you want to characterize Kelnaka?" And she said, "Well, we wanted it to come from a human place," which you know what I mean. Like that would make sense as a misspeak, sort of, because human. What she should say, like personable, or But ultimately, all of them are based after what we understand to be human characters, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe with variations, but instead she said, "Yeah, how did you create this human character?" Well, we started with them being human, which I know, odd. Star Wars, like what?
Humans
was
in
step
Star
one.
Wars. What'll they think of next?
That's such a shitty answer though, because like some of the most appealing aspects of it is the aliens. I remember you guys wanting the show with Obi-Wan to be about him and the
Yeah.
Jawa at the beginning because that's more appealing to whatever we're probably
Oh, that
gonna
Jaw
get.
was epic. He seemed like a little
Yeah,
goober,
man.
little traitor.
It could have been fun. And they could have played off each other. It could have actually been funny, and like, you know, they could have got some wholesome scenes from it. You could do something. And even when we saw Boba Fett as the washed up clone trooper, it's just like there's so many things you could do. No, Tamora Morrison playing the you remember the scene in Kenobi where he saw like the broken down clone trooper,
This
right?
when he goes to the cyberpunk city. Yeah.
Do something with these scenes. That could be so satisfying, and the fact that they pass on those opportunities is what shows me the most about like how much they really don't care about this series. They don't know what makes it work. If they don't think that's interesting, how the fuck can they like this? Like, I just don't get it.
Yeah, well, and it's quite telling that the showrunner of The Acolyte considers humanity a foreign element to Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
What could
the
be more
fuck?
human than
Talking
kissing
about,
your
lady?
sister?
What's more human than Luke looking up at the twin sons, being like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
No human. Just to be
I
clear,
am
no human has literally ever done that in the history of the world. Just
Like Luke finding his parents dead and wanting revenge. Like, what's not human about that?
passion.
What is not human about,
revenge,
like, the way
justice.
he persuades Han to go after Leia? Like, she's rich. To reward. Like, everyone loves that scene because we get it. We get what he's appealing to, and we get the dynamic of their relationship now. It's such a good scene. How is that not human? You fucking headlamp. Like, this lady is just she's so dense. It's crazy.
No, headlamps are bright. Why would you use that as the
True.
analogy?
Nice.
That is true.
This is the most non-illuminating interview I've ever heard.
Conversation.
Or in a way, actually, it kind of is, just for the horrific.
Yeah, it's
reasons.
illuminating and but also
It is
being
very,
fucking vapid at the same time. It's just ugh.
for the sake of the answer, from a human place, meaning that as a human audience member, you would be able to follow
Hey, calm
Yeah,
down.
as a
Calm down.
and
yeah.
relate.
we got some dogs in the audience, remember?
Yeah, what
Yeah,
other
some
audience?
of
Not
us-
all
You got
humans.
scrolls? You
Some of
fucking
us-
scrolls watching this? What you talking about?
Yeah,
We're
I'd
all
like to
humans
think that
watching your show.
Now that we've established that the show wasn't made for me,
Well, isn't it crazy?
All
Firstly, I wanted to say we wanted to make the character human, and we wanted people in the audience who are human to be able to, get the. Okay.
are you a robot?
We wanted to make a show that was
Why do
by
you say it like
humans for humans.
Thing that as a human audience member, you would be able to follow and relate with. Maybe not the murder, but you could.
How bad is this
Human
answer?
murder?
Seriously.
What is this? Because you're the same species as this character, you can really relate to them. At least that was what we wanted. Except for the murder
Other
part.
species, her
Except for
expecting
the
other
rampant
species to be
murder.
watching her shows.
Except for the killing.
How do you slip that in? Like, she's so dense, man.
It's just.
And if you had talents, you could have us have those murders be justified. Murder isn't always just this fucking black and white thing. Like, you can add a little bit of complexity to your story, other than something more than the Jedi are good, the Jedi are bad. Like, it's pathetic, man. So hearing these things from her is just insane.
Definitely relate with what he's saying. You know, when he says, I want
Can
freedom,
we?
you're like, well, yeah, everybody, you know, how can you not want that?
He wants
could you not
freedom.
want freedom?
How could you not want that? What?
Everyone
mean,
can relate to him. Like,
You know what? I'm coming around to this character. I think I just realized I too love freedom.
I just-
how couldn't you?
man.
Writing 101, whatever character you've made that people aren't related to, just have him say, hey, I like freedom. Freedom's
Everybody
my
wants to be
jam.
free, right?
Yeah.
It's
You
so
know what?
fucking weak, man.
You'll grab a plenty of the audience, the human audience members, of course.
When he says, the reason I'm doing this is because you say I can't exist. Like, it's a very almost countercultural idea for,
What?
you know, I
How?
rewrote that scene so many times. I can't
And
tell you
this
that.
is the winner? This was the winner of all those rewrites?
What were the other ones like?
I ca-
See these-
You know, like how you can get tangled up if you have maybe 4 different answers to a question at once, so you're thinking about multiple things. She managed
Yeah.
to just get tangled up with a thin one thought. She's already like losing the thought. So the question: how did you deal with making sure your big bad villain was going to be human? Well, he's human, and he has human stuff.
Like our audience. Like
This
our
stuff
audience.
doesn't happen when you're being honest. Like, when
Oh,
you're
yeah,
being honest, you just answer the fucking question.
There's a
You
couple
don't
of
fucking-
explanations. One of them
you know?
being that she really doesn't have much on him. Like she's like, I don't know, he likes freedom. He's countercultural in that way because the Jedi control, which obviously is her point of view that the Jedi are mean and control everything, which we have not been shown yet.
She's describing things she wants us to interpret and write the show on our own, but these things aren't in the show, and that's been the pattern with this crap. It's like the people who defended Boba Fett's arc with the fucking Tuskens, and like if he was like actually learning something in the culture.
Well, he
aspect
wanted
of it.
freedom too,
Pathetic, man.
which is important when you're a slave.
Ugh, it's stupid, man.
I don't know why the fuck she agreed to do this interview. She's got nothing to say. Seems like she didn't do any sort of planning.
Joe, you know how this
Questions
works.
aren't even hard.
This is probably one of 20 she did it all in one day. And it's
And
the kind of
now-
thing where they're looking at the clock the whole time, like, yeah, come on.
Now that
Why
we've
they put her
had
in the Star Wars room.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you just took it right out of my mouth. Now that we've had a little bit more time with this interview, do we think this is a set? Like, I'm much more convinced now after seeing just how fake the entire interview is. I wouldn't be
Well,
surprised if the entire thing is. It's just a
Now that
an
either
image,
she's
you know?
now that she's moved or the webcam like tilted over,
I think she
then
just
we can see
spun
more
on
of the
her seat.
background.
Like,
We could see that there's way more Funko Pops than was originally thought. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then there's the 3 over there, so that's
Comes
9.
across
Then there's 10,
calculated.
11, 12 up top. So I think there's a dozen Funko Pops
look at the way those books are just. It's
Yeah.
like this is the book part where we put the books.
stacked the wrong way. Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
just
it's weird.
Something it feels calculated. I don't know. And these dead-eyed Funko Pops are killing me.
What pisses me off most about the shelves is the fucking typewriter in the middle there. I'm a writer, you guys. Here's a
Yeah,
vintage typewriter.
Pretentious.
It's like wearing a hat that says screenwriter on it.
it's like wearing a
Oh.
tattoo that says damaged.
What a terrible decision that was. Oh my god.
I'm in Hotep.
Well, more insight to come.
When I finally got you brought her here, I was like, thank you, Jesus. Like, I was like, it's so important what the first few lines this person says, so that exactly what you're saying, like, you just get locked into his point of view as a character, not a bad guy.
Okay, so she's referring to the fact that he said back to Soul says she was a child or whatever about Jackie, and then his response is you brought her here, which is something that we brought up as being like an actual interesting line, but they didn't
Best
do
line in
anything
the show.
further.
That was it.
That was it. And in
Not
terms
like,
of,
oh, you're responsible.
It
That
doesn't-
never got developed.
it doesn't tell me a huge amount about the character because I already knew he's willing to kill children. That line doesn't tell me anything more about him in terms of. I mean, I killed someone who was attacking me, whether or not they're a child. I guess
That
that's
line does more for Soul, like
Yeah.
us seeing how he reacts
well,
to that. And
that's what it's a prompt for. Soul could have
Yeah.
said something back, or we could have done something with it later. But like, that's why we like the line. It's like, oh, it's a challenge, but then we get nothing. And we're like, oh, all right.
Yeah, it's so annoying, man. This show literally should have just been Soul and Smilo. Like, it should have been about them. Him, a former apprentice gone rogue or something. Like, these two actors could have done something. They're the strongest, and the rest is just a waste of time. What was the point of Jackie and Yord? Like all the way this show is aging, it's aging badly already. It's not even done.
Well, they didn't
Crazy.
get much of a story before they were killed. It was just like, oh.
Yeah, we didn't do it. And my problem is they feel like they probably achieved fantastic arcs for those two, but like they were just getting started. Like I just learned her name was Jackie and she's dead. Like, what are we doing here? You establish a relationship or potential, like, you know, that Soul liked Osha. Jackie and Osha liked each other potentially. I was in my mind, I'm thinking, is there a love triangle in the future? What's the future for these characters? Oh, no, next snap, he's dead. Just nothing, man.
Well, in retrospect, the whole, man, I'm going to miss you when you're gone because we have gotten to know each other so well. I now realize, like, oh, they were speedrunning because they knew Jackie was going to die next episode.
Yeah, it all makes sense. You could piece back.
Because I didn't think she would. I had my bets were that she was immune, but
I didn't think she would take a single blow this whole season. Yord doesn't surprise me at all. But what frustrates me is, like, why make him like the most honorable character, like at least doing something good, and then just not even give him any reward for that? It's
all super unsatisfying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it feels like anti-story a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like, why
you just kind of go like, why am I here? What's the point of all this?
Of all the dramatic payoffs, you know, of all the drama you could have mined from these scenes, you chose this. It just is shocking. Like, I don't know.
And I think him saying you brought her here tells you almost everything that you need to know about the character, which is, like, yes, I'm brutal. Yes, I just did something unforgivable, but you brought her here.
He
attacked them.
He
did it, yeah.
So yeah, like the idea of like, what a clever retort. You brought her here for me to stab her.
Yeah, you killed her though. It's just like, you forgot that component, Leslye. Like, what the hell?
He did it. He didn't have to. He could have not done that, but he did. And then it's like, but see, he was clever in pointing out that if she hadn't been brought here, he wouldn't have done it in the first place.
Hello, you just listened to a segment of the podcast Every Frame a Pause, or EFAP. Hosted by YouTubers Mauler, Rags, and Fringy, and joined by a cycling variety of guests across the internet, they critically analyze media with exhaustive detail while pausing at every single frame. Subscribe to the EFAP channel and catch new episodes on Saturdays, as well as catch their smaller videos reacting to the latest and not-so-greatest movies and TV shows throughout the week. You can also subscribe here to EFAP Highlights for the latest shorts, clips, and supercuts, also uploaded throughout the week. Links to all the relevant channels can be found in the description section below, as well as links to their communities on Reddit and Discord. Thanks for watching.